In previous video, we learned the necessary condition of analytic function. Today we shall discuss the sufficient condition. It is sufficient condition for the function f of z to be analytic. That means the function f of z also become analytic if it satisfies the sufficient condition. The both necessary and sufficient condition are very important for examination because they will ask at least one for 5 marks in every year. So practice well. See the theorem. The function f of z is equals to u plus iv. We can write u as u of x comma y and v as v of x comma y is analytic in a domain D if first one, the four partial derivatives ux, vx, uy, vy are all continuous in a domain D. And second condition, u comma v are differentiable in a domain D and it should satisfy the CR equations ux is equals to vy and uy is equals to minus vx. These equations are called CR equations. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we can say f of z is analytic. If we proved u comma v are differentiable, then no need to prove the first condition because the first condition will exist in the second condition. Because we know the theorem of differentiability, every differentiable is continuous. That means if you prove differentiable, the continuous condition already exists here. So we should prove the differentiability or differentiable. Let's see the proof. To prove this, we should assume ux, vx, uy, vy are all continuous. We should assume. First you assume ux, uy are continuous. That means since ux and uy, ux is dou u by dou x, uy is dou u by dou y are supposed continuous. That means you are considering it as continuous. Then if these two are continuous, then delta u value u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y. This is the formula for delta u when ux and uy are continuous. Put this as equation 1. Then add and subtract u of x comma y plus delta y to the equation 1. Then delta u becomes delta u is equals to, write on the first term as it is, that is u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. Then add and subtract. So first I am subtracting the term u of x comma y plus delta y. Then adding the term u of x comma y plus delta y. Then write down the next term as it is, minus u of x comma y. Then separate the first two terms. That means delta u is equals to u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y plus delta y. Take it separately. Then remaining term plus of u of x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y. So take these two terms also separately. Then if you want to simplify this term, we should know the partial derivatives formulae. See, these are all the partial derivatives formulae. That is, this is ux formulae, this is vx, this is uy, this is vy. These are all the partial derivatives formulae. See, we can get dou u by dou y, dou x and dou u by dou y in this line. In this line we can get this formula first. So first consider this term. See, I am considering the first term, that is delta u is equals to u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y plus delta y. First I am considering the first term. Here consider delta y is equals to 0. Delta y equals to 0 means we get u of x plus delta y, delta x comma y minus u of x comma y. Then multiply and divide delta x here because we should get the formula like this. We should get delta x and also we should take the limit. That's why multiply and divide delta x and take the limit delta x tends to 0. Then delta y value goes to limit of delta x tending to 0 u of x plus delta x comma y minus u of x comma y multiply and divided delta x. We can write this as dou u by dou x because it's looking like dou u by dou x formula. See, limit of delta x tends to 0, u of x plus delta x comma y minus u of x comma y divided by delta x. So we can write this as dou u by dou x. Write down this value, dou u by dou x remains delta x, write down as it is. Then if I added this small sufficient value for dou u by dou x, the value of this doesn't change. So I can add the sufficient value epsilon 1. Epsilon 1 is sufficiently small value. See, after applying the limit delta x tending to 0, this value goes to 0. So this value doesn't change after the adding this term. So I am adding epsilon 1. So we can write this term as dou u by dou x plus epsilon 1 into delta x. See, I didn't write all simplification here because this is a lengthy theorem. So I skipped here. Like that, the second term. So same procedure we can apply here, but here we are getting u of x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y. So which formula we are getting here? See, this is u of x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y term this is. So we can get here the formula of dou u by dou y. See, this is dou u by dou y formula. Here I am getting the numerator here. So here also multiply and divided by delta y. After the multiplying and dividing by delta y and take the limit, the value goes to dou u by dou y plus the small sufficient value eta 1 I am taking into delta y. Then multiply delta x inside the bracket and also delta y inside the bracket. After we will get delta u value dou u by dou x into delta x plus eta 1 into delta x plus dou u by dou y into delta y plus eta 1 into delta y. We can write this as dou u by dou x into delta x plus dou u by dou y into delta y. After that, you can write epsilon 1 eta 1, that is plus epsilon 1 into delta x plus eta 1 into delta y. I already told when taking the limit delta x tends to 0 and delta y tending to 0 for this, we will get epsilon 1 and eta 1 goes to 0. Put this as equation 2. Apply same procedure for Vx and Vy. So we proved for Ux and Uy. So now we have to take the continuous for Vx and Uy. Very similarly, since Vx and Vy are supposed continuous, we are assuming these are continuous, then we have delta V here. Delta V value we can write directly like dou v, instead of dou u by dou x, we can write dou v by dou x plus instead of epsilon 1, we can take epsilon 2 into delta x plus dou v by dou y plus eta 2 into delta y. See, delta v is equals to dou v by dou x plus eta 2 into delta x plus dou v by dou y plus eta 2 into delta y. We can write directly. Then this is also we can write it as, that means multiply delta x inside the bracket, delta y inside the bracket. After the simplification we will get delta v, dou v by dou x into delta x plus dou v by dou y into delta y plus epsilon 2 into delta x plus eta 2 into delta y. Here also after taking the limit delta x tending to 0, delta y tending to 0, the values epsilon 2 and eta 2 goes to 0. Put this as equation 3. Then add equation 2 and 3. That means we will get delta u plus I into delta v. That means I am multiplying I to the delta v. After that we will get, write down delta u value as it is here plus I into delta v. That means we should multiply I to the delta v term. That means I into dou v by dou x into delta x plus I into dou v by dou y into delta y plus I into epsilon 2 into delta x plus I into eta 2 into delta y. Then we can write coefficient of delta x separately. That means coefficient of delta x is here dou u by dou x, here I into dou v by dou x. So take it as separately. That means dou delta u plus I into delta v value dou u by dou x plus I into dou v by dou x into delta x plus similarly we can take the coefficient of delta y separately. That is dou u by dou y plus I into dou v by dou y into delta y. Then we can write epsilon 1 plus I into epsilon 2 as epsilon because both are sufficiently small values. So I considered epsilon plus I into epsilon 2 value epsilon into delta x plus, and also I considered eta 1 and eta 1 plus I into eta 2 as eta into delta y. Put this as equation 4. Here while taking the limit delta x tends to 0, delta y tends to 0, the epsilon value and eta value goes to 0. Here epsilon value is epsilon 1 plus I into epsilon 2. Here eta value is eta 1 plus I into eta 2. This is equation 4. And also from 1 we have write down the equation 1 and write down here. Equation 1 is the delta u is equal to u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus u of x comma y. Delta u means we are getting the values in terms of u. Then delta v value we are getting the values in terms of v. That means v of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y minus v of x comma y. Then we can add these two like above. That means delta u plus I into delta v we can get here because we should get like that. So add these two. We get delta u plus I into delta v. Write down delta u value plus I into delta v value. So here separate the incrementing term. These two are incrementing term. So separate it. It is u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y plus I into v of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. So take it separately. Remaining terms minus of u of x comma y plus I into v of x comma y, because I am take the common minus. So minus into plus is minus. Then see here it looks like u plus iv. U plus iv is what? U plus iv is f of z. See here. U plus iv value is f of z. We can write u as u of x comma y plus I into v of x comma y. I already told. If I increment for z, the f of z value changes to f of z plus delta z. If I did the increment for z, I should increment for both x and y. So this value changes to u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y plus I into v of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. See, same values I am getting here. U of x comma y plus I into v of x comma y means what? F of z value. Write down here f of z. This one, see, this and this are same. So we can write this value as f of z plus delta z, because f of z plus delta z value, see, u of x plus delta x comma y plus delta y plus I into v of x plus delta x comma y plus delta I. Here also I am getting the same value, right? Here also I am getting the same value. So I can write this value as f of z plus delta z. So I am getting the value for delta u plus I into delta v value f of z plus delta z minus f of z. But this value is 5. From equation 4 we have LHS are equal. See the equation 4 and equation 5. So LHS are equal. So we can easily write down the RHS also equal. Write down the RHS. RHS are equal. Write down. And put this as equation 6. Apply the CR equations here. Because they given in the problem, CR equation is what? See, ux is equals ux, vx, uy, vy including this. We can write the equation ux is equals to vy, uy is equals to minus vx. apply this here. Then equation 6 becomes f of z plus delta z minus f of z, that is equals to dou u by dou x plus I into dou v by dou x into delta x, written same as it is this term, plus dou u by dou y value we can write minus dou v by dou x, plus I into dou v by dou y value is I into dou u by dou x into delta y plus epsilon delta x plus eta delta y. Next, we can write this equation as these two terms. That means, after applying these two, we can get above equation. See here, dou u by dou x into delta x is dou u by dou x into delta x plus I into dou v by dou x into delta x. I am getting the above. That is, I into dou v by dou x into delta x. Like that, dou u by dou x into I into delta y, this one. I into dou u by dou x into delta y. Then I into I is I square is minus dou v by dou x into delta y. That means we can write this equation by these two terms. Write down these two terms plus epsilon delta y plus eta delta y. Next, divide by delta x plus I into delta y is equals to delta z, because we know delta z is delta x plus I into delta y. So divide by delta z here and take the limit delta z tending to 0. Delta divide by delta z means divide by delta x plus I into delta y. So divide by delta x plus I into delta y to the term this one. And take the limit delta z tending to 0, that is equals to. So you have to take the limit for LHS only. So apply the limit for LHS. In RHS side, what we will get here? Divide by delta x plus I into delta y means this term will cancel here. We will get only dou u by dou x plus I into dou v by dou x. In LHS side, it looks like differentiability formula. Differentiability or derivative of what? Derivative of the function f of z here. So I will write this term as f dash of z. This is the differentiability formula for the function f of z. So after the simplification, I am getting the term in terms of differentiability. That means we proved the differentiable. If we prove differentiable means the first condition exists here. First condition is continuous. Derivative exists means differentiable. Differentiable means every differentiable is continuous. So both the conditions, insufficient condition proved. That means CR conditions also exist here. Differentiability means here continuous condition also exists and CR equations also satisfied here. So we can say f of z is analytic in a domain D. So hence the proof.